Aloha golfers! Welcome to Golf in the Cosmos, episode number 20. I'm Kevin Robofsky, and here we talk all things Mac O'Grady and Morad. So it's been 20 weeks of doing this show, and very pleased with its reception. If you like it, please push like and subscribe. That would be helpful to get this out more to the masses. I think it's a very beneficial show for not only Mac O'Grady and Morad followers, but the general golfing public at large. So I have not yet done an interview, and I want to do that for sure. I want to make sure the first interview is the right person. So still working on that. In the meantime, I've been sharing a collection of videos that are mostly videos that have been shared and forwarded to me by other people. So basically, the material that I had of myself, which was I had some very incredible videos with Mac, myself, and many tour pros. I returned all of that to Mac per his request, probably somewhere 2005 in that era. So these videos have been shared by others to me, forwarded to me, and very grateful for that, and definitely want to respect those people. But again, I think that it's important to share the information, and so I hope nobody takes offense to that. Moving forward, today's episode 20, I want to return to the source. So this is the earliest video footage we have of Mac, 1986, and I had posted this video before in its entirety on YouTube. And this really is a video that has circulated amongst a lot of tour pros, amongst a lot of teaching pros, but it's been kind of maybe held back in the closet a little bit. It's a rough draft. I think Mac was going to do a video like this and sell to the public, and so basically he's just going through sort of a rehearsal, and of course it's very rough, and so and the video itself isn't great quality, and the audio isn't great quality, but of course there's some great information in it, like all things. But I wanted to trim it down and not go into all the verbiage. I wanted to break it down, and in this video is Mac demonstrating the swing, both practice swings and hitting the ball. So today's video is going to focus on those swings he took in the 1986 video in Palm Springs. And basically, I want everybody to appreciate the beauty and the symmetry and the mastery of this golf swing. And whenever I get into issues with my own game, and I still play competitive golf, and I think all teachers should play competitive golf, and unless they maybe get to a certain age, but playing competitive golf, you learn so much nuance about the game, and you gain a certain appreciation for the student and their struggles, and definitely the finer points of playing golf and getting the ball in the hole is really important to you yourself as a teacher to continue to realize, because it's easy to play armchair quarterback, and that's what we don't want to do as teachers. We want to be able to demonstrate, number one, and also we want to be have the field experience, which is basically teeing it up in competition, posting a score next to your name. That's really the highest form of pressure, and that's really, I think, important for teachers to do. But aside from that, when we do that, there are obviously going to be times when we're not on our game, and this video really helps solidify all the little points that that the swing really, I think, in my mind, should exemplify. So just to go over the 5 or 6 points that this video really, I think, covers. And again, these are the major points, not getting into the minor points. But if you look at Mac's address here, he sets up with very low hands. He's in like a tight little ball, and within that ball, he can control his movements, right? So this is the idea of having the low hands and maybe a little more rounded posture, a little bit lower posture, staying in a little kind of tighter little ball here, not getting so tall, not getting so high where the center of gravity is real high, where you can lose your balance, and I think your control as well. So lower posture, lower hands, going to give you better balance, better support in your feet. And this video is going to really demonstrate that the lower body is more of a support system, right? It's not doing a lot of engaging. It's more the rotation of the upper body, the upper torso, and staying in the second axis, staying in your tilt, right? So you're not coming out of your posture. This is very much magnified in this early Morad system. So Mac's playing fade mostly, right? So he's not releasing his hands over. So he's releasing his hands upward. So there's a recocking of the wrist upward, but not a rotation of the hands over. So there's no rolling of the wrists. So in that respect, there's no release. Right? The club face is not closing in this particular version. Of course, he's going a little 3/4 angles, both on this side and both on this side. And you can see that the arms are very close to the body, just like having the pennies or the tees under the armpits. Rotation back, eyes focused on the ball, right in the middle of the center of the visual field, right? Just rotating back down the plane. The left knee straightens, right elbow straightens, the right wrist stays cocked until P6, and then bam, uncocks, the knee straightens, the wrist recocks, staying in your tilts, bingo, right? You can see the right foot doesn't come all the way up and over, stays at about a 45-degree angle, the right foot, so that you can keep your right shoulder down, and again, stay in your posture, and you get a better release through the ball when you do this, right? So you don't want to be raising up as you hit the ball. That's how we leave the ball out to the right. Also the visual field, right? So keeping your gaze down longer. He doesn't go into much detail in this video with that, but in this time frame, P8.5, that's when you start to look up. There were other times in 87 where he talked about not looking up until P9 or even P10. And so this is kind of also changed from time to time. But all this means is your gaze, right? So you're looking at the ball. That's the focal point. Rotating up, focusing on that ball, coming down through, and you're keeping your gaze down where the ball was all the way to P9. And then turn the head last. To me, this is ideal. If you did it at P8.5, that will be fine too. But a lot of people, their gaze is coming to the target. Their head is turning to the left too early, right? And the problem with that is your brain's connection to the golf ball is through the eyes, right? And so having your eyes on that ball longer and down longer will help not only stay in the posture, but also it's your brain's feedback to where the ball is in space, right? And if you get anxious and you want to see that ball early, right, the head will turn, you'll come up out of your posture, and the shot is usually hit thin or to the right. So people will say, well, what about David Duval and Annika Sorensson, right? Definitely looking their head prematurely towards the target, maybe not even looking at the ball at impact. And again, you can make exceptions to anything. Is that ideal? I don't think so. Can you make any swing work with enough repetitions? To some degree, yes. But as we age, I think these little idiosyncrasies catch up with us. And definitely I see a pattern with, if you're going to turn your head towards the target during impact, the face stays open, right? So it has an effect on your ability to square the face, right? So being able to maintain your gaze down longer should help free up the release. That's one of the things that helps people square up the ball, or square up the club face and hit the ball straighter or with a draw. Head down longer, right foot down longer, right? And if you're snapping the ball, it could be the opposite, right? So weight hanging back, head hanging back, so that would be like in this position, right? And then the hands can flip over too much. That's basically what we do when we're trying to intentionally curve the ball to the left. So little nuances here and there, but boy, this swing is hard to argue against. I mean, I would say if a golfer disliked the swing that we're going to see in Mac's video here, I don't think they really understand swing mechanics, biomechanics, anatomy, and neurology, because this is an easy swing to repeat. Doesn't matter what your age is, what your gender is, what your body type is. Basically, it suits everybody. So, but the 5 or 6 points I think have to be addressed. So low hands, strong grip, going to have a kind of a lower posture. The wrists are going to be cocking a little bit more upwards, up the plane, down the plane, straighten the left knee, recock the wrist upward, stay in your tilts, gaze down longer, right foot 45 degrees. That looks like this at the finish, not turned over like that. And there you go. Mac makes this swing look simple, and it's very powerful. So here he is. He's in the top 5 in driving distance, 1986, 1987, right? And with a very simple swing and very repetitive. Now, of course, you could say, well, why didn't Mac win more tournaments? That's a whole nother issue, right? But in terms of ball striking, if you're looking at something simple, easy to repeat, powerful, this 1986 method had everything. And of course, then people will say, well, why did Mac change the swing? Well, I mean, it's a complicated, question, right? It's Mac maybe keeps searching for the truth, right? Trying to keep digging deeper and deeper, and trying to, discover more layers to the swing, create more nuances. But, the thing is added complexity, right? And I think that's where the Morad model shifted towards. And complexity in terms of more things to think about, and then a lot of complaints that I got as a teacher of Morad is in the later versions, people lost a lot of distance. So it's hard to be a competitive golfer, whether you're on the Champions Tour, PGA Tour, Club Professional, playing State Open, Mini Tour, you name it. You've got to maintain your distance. And Mac in this generation, he also was highly critical of golfers that didn't hit the ball far, right? He wanted you to hit the ball hard, right? But within the structure and the organization of the Morad system, right? And that included the pennies under the armpits. That's great. Those are great governors. I would rather call them governors than pressure points, because they govern the range of motion in each specific area, whether it's the knees, the armpits, the gaze, the right foot. All of these things govern motion and movement, and that's what makes your swing repeatable. But you want to be able to go at it hard, for sure. And when people want more club head speed, right, I tell them, straighten the left knee faster, recock the wrist faster, turn more, make sure you cock your wrist 90 degrees, and there you go. There'll be a certain limit to your muscle twitch speed, right? And that usually decreases as we age. So that's going to affect club head speed. But those other characteristics, you can work on them, and definitely use a launch monitor and a TrackMan, and that will help you with that journey for club head speed. But I would say more important than club head speed is ball speed. Try to get the smash factor higher so that your ball speed is higher. What would be really nice is to get more ball speed out of your own club head speed. And that's really, I think, where the mechanics of the swing come in, and also the impact position, and also the efficiency, being able to transport these angles down in a very efficient way so there's very minimal of power leakage, right? So we don't have to sacrifice accuracy for distance. There's somewhere where there's a beautiful compromise between the two, and then of course you can go to the other extreme where you could just swing out of your shoes and just go for all distance. But that would be a hard way to play good golf consistently. So again, enjoy this video. This is, I think, Mac at his best, and if you haven't seen it in its entirety, you can review it in my YouTube feed in the past. But these swings ahead represent Mac in the video itself demonstrating, and it doesn't get much better than this. Aloha. See you next week.
Okay. Okay. Watch me maintain the axis tilt. Okay. Axis tilt is maintained, a little bit right. Tilted down to the right here. I'm just aware of motor set going from section, once I get to section number 4, going down to section 6. See how the left wrist hasn't moved outward yet? It moves outward to the very bottom when the force throws it here. So it comes straight up and over. Okay? Okay? Top. Okay? I'm monitoring my rotation up. Right through the ball again. Okay? And one of the elements to control very good balance is to be able to go up, back on down to impact, right on through, maintain the second axis tilt, not coming up this way. Now you see you change your hip girdle slide. Bingo, right here. The side view, the shot looks this way. Again, I'm just rotating up, very quickly, back on down. Okay? For a little angle here, up. Okay? It's amazing how consciously you have to learn these elements, but then once they're applied and you break it down, you know each little step you must incorporate into the overall network, and these are little sub-programs being developed and worked into the overall program as one unit working as one whole, as one framework. Then it's amazing how I can just set up to the ball. I've already had the radius locks monitored. I just have to make sure I be aware of my left foot alignment, and basically it's just a rotation up, rotating through the ball. Okay? Rotation up, bang, through the ball. If I go in this direction, up the plane, bang. See the axis tilt? Club going up. Okay? You don't see any of this action going on here. Okay? Alright? Aware of just priming myself, tuning these muscles at a dress position, getting a little bobbing and weaving so that I have a better reaction time like a tennis player. Somebody's going to serve you the tennis ball. You get a little tuning and priming of the muscles to have a reaction. It seems to set the whole motor set of what I intend to do in a more relaxed mode. Okay? So, here we are at a dress, where my left foot fixation alignment. Okay? Just where a rotation, club goes down. Okay? Bingo. Perfect. Little fade. See the axis tilt? Okay. Try it again. One more. To the right of the camera. Okay. Where am I? Feet position. How much this left foot is opened up. How much the right shoulder goes down to have the second axis tilt. Bingo. The rotation straight forward. Okay. Where of rotation, no release. hook there. All right. Here I'm going to hit a little bit left of the camera so you got a little different view. Okay, aware of priming everything, aware of the rotation, coming through impact. Okay, one more. All right, aware of the setting up, just pure rotation upward and downward. Making sure I keep my foveal locked all the way from section 1 through 7. Once I get down to section 7, halfway forward to section 8, hands are recocking again. Okay, bingo, then I move forward. I lose my foveal lock. Let me check the... Oh, the camera's still working. All right. Let me go to some 5-irons here. How about 2 4-irons? Okay? One left of the camera, one right of the camera. Okay? Same basic relationship. Where my left foot, how much I want it turned out. Okay? Rotation up. Right through the shot. Back on down to section 10. Okay? Set. I'm going to hit a little bit right of the camera here. Same thing. Where my left foot position. Rotate it up. Right through the shot. Up to section number 10. Little axis tilt, right?